How many times have we made decisions in life that we thought were the best choices at the moment, only to find out later that they were not? Minsan, sa mga desisyon natin sa buhay, natutokso tayong gawin ng isang bagay dahil sa maling akala. Maling akala na ito ay tama at maganda, pero sa huli pala ay mali at nakasasama. May mga pagkakataon sa buhay natin na tayo ay nagdesisyon at pumili ng isang bagay o gawain dahil akala natin na iyon ang nararapat, only to realize eventually that it wasn't worth it at all. This could be about relationships, career paths, a particular purchase, or even a choice in how we spend our time and which ones to prioritize. Hindi natin maitatanggi na sa buhay, may mga pagkakataon minsan na parang naisahan tayo ng nanunukso sa atin at nailigaw niya tayo para piliin ang mali. We know that decision-making is crucial in our life. And we have to know that it's not just about choosing what feels good in the moment or what seems easiest that is important. Making decisions is about seeing what is truly good, and it requires our vigilance, a clarity of our mind, and a discernment of what we consider as morally correct and upright. When we are faced with choices, we have to be aware of how our hearts and minds are working together. It's not just about thinking clearly, but it's also about aligning our desires with what is true, good, and right. Bearing in mind that sometimes the choices that seem most enticing can actually lead down to the paths of harm. And that's exactly what we see in the temptations of Jesus in today's gospel reading, in Luke chapter 4, verses 1 to 13. Jesus, in the wilderness, faced the temptations of the devil in a series of offers that seemed desirable at first glance. The devil promised him food when he was hungry, power over all the kingdoms of the world, and the opportunity to prove himself by throwing himself down from the temple and being saved by angels. All of these were powerful temptations, promises of satisfaction, of glory, and of authority and power. Hindi nga ba't sa maraming pagkakataon, ito rin ang mga hinahanap at ginugusto natin? Pero pansinin natin ang kwento sa gospel account ni Luke. Jesus did not accept the offers even if they seemed good. Jesus saw the devil's trap and refuted him, and so the devil had to depart from him. Reading Luke's account of the temptations of Jesus invites us to see the constant need to be watchful and to see beyond the lures of the devil's temptations, as they often come in forms that would seem harmless or even beneficial. We could even say that this was how the serpent seduced Eve and Adam in the story of creation. Eve and Adam thought that eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil was beneficial for them, only to realize eventually that it has led to the rupture of their relationship with Yahweh. Kaya mag-ingat tayo sa ating mga maling akala. Akala mo magandang gawain, hindi pala. Akala mo safe, mapapahamak ka pala. Akala mo mapapasaya ka, dagdag pasakit lang pala. O akala mo siya na ang sagot sa iyong mga dasal, manloloko din pala. Today's readings remind us of the continuing relevance of moral discernment. Kailangan nating maging maingat sa ating pagpili. Such call for moral discernment invites us to also embrace a twofold watchfulness. We are to exercise both a cognitive and an appetitive vigilance over our decisions and actions and the actions that we are taking. First, we need to be vigilant with our minds. We need to train ourselves to be wise and discerning, to recognize that not everything that glitters is gold, and we need to know the truth in order to correctly identify the best among the things that we have to choose from. But it's not only about thinking, it's also about desiring. We need to cultivate a heart that desires what is authentically true and good. This is what we mean by appetitive vigilance. It is an exercise that requires constant training of our body and of our emotions. Perhaps, following Jesus' example of his 40-day fasting in the desert, we too could embark, especially during this season of Lent, on some forms of appetitive training that could help us strengthen our capacity to say no to immediate gratification in favor of that which is authentically good. When we fail to fortify our appetites, we could end up doing the wrong thing. Di nga ba't may mga pagkakataon sa buhay natin where we end up doing things even if we know that they are wrong? Minsan, ang pagkakamali ay nagmula hindi sa kakulangan ng tamang kaalaman, kundi dahil sa kahinaan ng ating kalooban. Kaya ginagawa nating alibay minsan ang isang maling kasabihan na dahil tayo ay tao lamang. Tayo ay pinapaalalahanan na ang tukso ay parang isang magnanakaw. At ang sabi ng Gospel account ni Matthew, ang magnanakaw ay darating sa mga pagkakataon na hindi natin alam at hindi natin inaasahan. Temptation even becomes the strongest when we are most vulnerable. The first two readings today, however, assure us of God's providence. The first reading says, "And we cried to the Lord of our fathers who heard us, and looked down upon our affliction, labor, and distress, and he brought us out of Egypt." The second reading also promises that no one who believes in him will be put to shame. Holding on to such promises, we respond to the invitation of strengthening our relationship with God. We are called to become more familiar with God's will through prayer, through reading His Word, and learning more about the propriety of our actions, through studying the intellectual resources of our faith, so we could become better acquainted with the reasons that anchor the Church's teachings on many issues of today, through cultivating our relationship with our neighbors, so we grow in our capacity for self-sacrifice in order to embrace and allow other people in our lives as we contribute to the building of a more lasting communion among God's children. We may not become perfect, but we can trust in God's providence that will help us mature in our understanding of His will.